So what length of 2-inch by 4-inch material will be required to make 6 bench legs of 31 and 1/4 inch long? Okay, so what length of 2-inch by 4-inch material will be required to make 6 bench legs? So we have 6 bench legs of 31 3/4 each. So we have this total amount. So first we have to figure out, well, how many linear feet, and inches of bench legs do we need? Well, what we would do is we'd say, well, we have to do 6 bench legs, and each bench leg is 31 and 1/4 inches long, right? Okay, and that'll give us the total.
All right, so we're going to multiply this through. Now, if you're going to do this on a calculator, you don't need to modify this at all. You can literally just type in 6 multiplied by 31 and 1/4 if you know how to use your scientific calculator. Now, if you want to do this long, you probably want to convert that mixed number right there to a improper fraction and an improper fraction, and then what you're going to do is you're going to multiply straight across. So you'd say 31 times 4, and that would be 124, and plus 1, and then you'd say 124 plus 1 is 125. And then you're just going to stick it right back over the old denominator, which was the 4 in this case. Right? So in this case, it's going to be 6 over 1. All whole numbers are understood to be over 1, multiplied by 125 over 4. Now I can divide both these 6 by 2, it gives me a 3, and the 4 by 2. And what this gives you is 4 divided by 2 gives you a 2. So what you end up with is 375 over 2. Right? So you say 375 divided by 2, and that would give you 27 and 1/2. Okay. So if 3/8 inch of a drawing represents 1 foot, how many inches on the drawing will represent 34 feet? Okay, so this is a kind of a weird little conversion, but basically we're saying 3/8 inch equals 1 foot. That's the conversion there, right? So how many inches on the drawing will represent 34 feet? So what they're asking is 34 feet equals how many inches? There's different kind of conceptual ways of looking at this, but one of the ways of doing this is simply to take the original, the feet, right? So the feet, you want to convert the feet to inches. So what I want to do is I'm going to use this conversion that they gave me right here, okay, that conversion right there, and I'm going to multiply the feet by this number of inches, right? So I'm trying to convert feet to inches using this. So each one of these feet is going to be turned into 3/8 inches, so I'm going to multiply this by 3/8 inches. Okay, so we can really kind of ignore that right now. I'm trying to avoid dimensional analysis at this point. That's a little more complicated. We will get into it later on, but right now I'm trying to avoid it. Okay, so we just multiply it through, right? Now I have been simplifying. Now I know that might be confusing, so let me show you how you can do it otherwise. So what you could do instead is, instead of simplifying as you go, which is what I have been doing, what you can do instead is you can just multiply through first, if you find that easier. So you can say, for instance, 34 times 3, and you could say that's equal to 102, and then you say 1 times 8 is equal to 8, and then you could just simplify at the end. So if you find simplifying by dividing something in the numerator and something by the denominator by the same thing, if you find that confusing, you don't have to do that yet, right? You don't have to do that. Better yet, you just use a calculator, hopefully, at this point. But then what happens is at the very end, then you can simplify it. And sometimes that's a little easier, right? So for instance, I could divide both of these by 2. At the end, that would give me 51 over 4. And then we would divide, we'd say, well, 51 divided by 4 goes into 5 once. 5 times 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 5 minus 4 is 1. We bring out the other one. 4 goes into 11 3 times. 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. 11 minus 8 is 3, with a remainder of 3. And therefore, 51/4 is equal to 12 and 3/4. Okay, so the answer was, well, how many inches on the drawing will represent 34 feet? Well, the answer to that is 12 3/4 inches. Okay, my fraction bar got killed again.
All right, so in a print shop, 1 unit of labor is equal to 1/10 of an hour. How many hours are involved in 88 units of work? Okay, so in a print shop, 1 unit of labor is equal to 1/10 of an hour. Okay, so we're simply going to multiply the number of units of work, which is 88, by 1/10, right? So 1 unit equals 1/10. So we are going to multiply through. So 88 is understood to be over a 1. Again, you could cancel out, you could divide both the 88 and the 10 by 2 before you multiply through, and that's perfectly valid. So for instance, I say 88 divided by 2 is 44, 10 divided by 2 is 5, and that would give me 44, right, over 5. Okay, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. That's fine. You simply say 88 over 1, multiply by 1 over 10. That would give you 88 over 10. And then at the last step, then you would divide both of these by 2. And that would give you a 44 over 5. Either way, you end up with the same thing. Okay, you're not done though, right? Because you're not really going to keep this in proper fraction of 44 fifths. You probably want to turn it into a mixed number. So what you do is you take the 44 and you're going to divide 5 into that. So just going across, does 5 go into 4? No. Does 5 go into 44? Yes. How many times? 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. 40 from 44 is 4. 5 does not go into 4, so that's your remainder. Your remainder is 4. So
Okay, so the answer is going to be whole number 8. The new numerator is going to be the remainder over here of 4. And the denominator is going to be the same denominator of 5. And that is the answer, 8 and 4 fifths.